Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we'll be reviewing the second set of torpedoes for the Japanese destroyer Fubuki, or as I've renamed her, Shininome. Since the last time we did a video on the ship, everything is still pretty much the same. We have the same guns, same AA, same torpedo layout, obviously, and no difference in other stats. So the only difference we have today is that we'll be going over the 15-kilometer torpedoes that do 57 knots. However, literally everything else is still the same, so there's not much difference. I I don't really recommend the 15-kilometer torpedoes because I feel like you don't really need it. I mean, fully concealed, your ship is down to 5.7 kilometers, so you still have at least 4.3 kilometers to play with that you're not detected with the 10 kilometers, and 9.3 kilometers with the 15-kilometer torpedoes. So as you can see, it's not that much different. Well, there's a big difference, but you don't really need it. Regardless, it is an option, so we will be showcasing what you can do with the 15-kilometer torps in this game. Alright, and here results the game. One carrier, only one battleship, looks like 5 cruisers and 3 destroyers, which are ironically all 3 Japanese destroyers you can have at this tier. So that's interesting. We also have 2 Pensacola's, a Miyoko, and a Kitsushima, a Brooklyn, a Hood, and a Luxurious. Alright, so here we are. We're heading out. So our torpedo angles are not the best, honestly. They could actually be a lot better. But the ship itself is really not that bad. Your guns are actually pretty decent for this tier, believe it or not. That's not a thing that's very common on Japanese destroyers. I can think of a Fubuki, to an extent Akatsuki, also to an extent Sudachi, and then maybe Shimakaze. That has actually pretty decent guns. I say decent, I never will say good guns. There's always going to be a better gunboat. However, they are pretty adequate for the targets that you should be shooting your guns at, which are being destroyers and sometimes some cruisers, and maybe the occasional chance to set a fire on a battleship. Alright, so we do have our first couple targets here. I guess we can put them in and then just use our torpedo reload booster to reload automatically all 3 of our torpedoes. We're not going to shoot them off yet, though. I do see that the Sakatsuki is in range of my guns. However, I don't know if I really want to fire at her just yet. I did turn my AA off as well. Alright, so this Brooklyn, it looks like she's going to try and go there. Just fine with me. Oh, we're detected by aircraft, so it doesn't really matter at this point. And surface spotted. Alright, so let's see if we can take out the Sakatsuki, or at least damage her. Your guns are pretty decent, like I said. Against destroyers, they'll do a ton of damage. Your fire chance is not that high, though. Right, so it looks like the Brooklyn went down before our torpedoes hit. So still no torpedoes hit or hits just yet. But we still have 6 torpedoes loaded, and 1 more launcher will be ready in about 30 seconds. As you can see, I'm just slowly whittling down this Akatsuki. Your shell velocity on Japanese destroyers is really, really good. It's most of the time it's 950 meters per second. However, you do have exceptions such as Akazuki, which has 1,000 meters per second. For the lower tier destroyers, I don't think that's still true. That one's going to go down. But you still have the option of having fast guns. Right, so I am going to launch only 1 set because that's still kind of towards my teammates. But it will be nice if we can take out that cruiser. Also that one, and there's also a Pensacola right here that we can probably take out. Alright, let's do a speed boost, just because. And start working on the Sekitsushima. So it doesn't look like any of our first torpedoes hit. I don't think our second set are going to hit. As you can see, you kind of have to be really close for your torpedoes to hit. So the 15 kilometers doesn't really help you with that. I mean, oh, we did get a couple torpedo hits. Yep, against the Pensacola. Alright, so we were finally able to land some torpedo hits. And we'll finish her off with guns here. But besides that, let's actually check to see, is that hood in any danger? No, she's not. Alright, so I can actually start working on this Fubuki too once she comes around this corner. Might as well put my AA back on as well. I don't know if I can lob these shells over. Kind of. As you can see, your guns are just going to tear destroyers apart. They're really, really good against other destroyers. They might not have the best rate of fire, but you can still do a ton of damage. And that is a thing that pretty much all Japanese destroyers have, from Fubuki and above. Your guns not be very fast firing, but when you do fire, they will do a lot of damage. Alright, so I guess we can kind of go after this Illustrious. It looks like our fire chance is pretty decent on this ship. May not be the best, I do have buffs applied to it. But still, not doing terrible. As you can see, your guns are pretty accurate as well. Alright, let's rush down this Illustrious and put some torps into her side. Looks like, yep, our Yudachi just went down. I probably could, actually, let's try the armor piercing. See if we can Citadel here. I'm still going to put some torps out. I would not like to fire. Hey, we can Citadel here, awesome. And there we go, we have a dead carrier. And then all we have left is this hood over here, which I actually don't know where she is. Oh, there she is. So there are a bunch of cruisers heading their way, but if played correctly, hood should be able to sink all of them. But let's see what damage we can do. Just slowly working over with guns. I don't think we're actually doing anything with our guns though. So again, we're going to rush her with torpedoes. And this is how I tend to play destroyers in general, not just Japanese destroyers. I like to rush targets, and so I don't need 15-kilometer torps. In fact, I'd rather I focus on rate of fire and reload, or speed for the torpedoes more than anything. Let's see, can she get around that island? No, she's going to beach. I also do have health buffs and speed buffs applied, so that is why I am still technically alive when I should be dead. And I'm almost hitting over 40 knots at this point. I'm actually almost as fast as my Illinois. And then, we don't need anything special. Those torpedoes have already hit, so they should not pose a threat to me. And there we go. We have ourselves a game. So as you can see, you don't really need 15 kilometers for the ranges you will be shooting at. And honestly, it just makes it slightly harder to hit targets. But we were still able to do 140,000 damage, 5 ships sunk, 146 shell hits, 7 torpedo hits, 1 aircraft shot down, 4 citadel hits, 6 fires, 2 floodings, and 1 module destroyed for 6,500 base XP. Let's see here, 48,000 damage in guns. We had 11,000 damage in fires, which wasn't actually that much compared to how many fires we actually did have. And then torpedoes did 80,000 damage themselves. So yeah, you can have a lot of good damage games with a ship. She's really fun, really fast, and really powerful. However, my preference will be the 10-kilometer torps because you get a little bit of extra speed. That's nice. And even if you do get extra range for the second set, if you're not going to use it, then why have it? Might as well have this extra speed. So with that, I will wrap up today's video. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe for further content, and join me tomorrow while we go over Akatsuki's second set of torpedoes. So again, thank you and take care.